Hello everyone, it's Charlton. So Israel has shot down a Syrian fighter jet that crossed into Israeli airspace, or I believe it crossed into the Golan Heights airspace, which Israel has annexed. And I understand that land is a huge point of contention. Many people believe that's Syrians' land, even though it's basically occupied by Israel right now. So, but it crossed 2 kilometers, 1.2 miles into that airspace, and Israel used its Iron Dome system. I think 2 Patriot missiles went up to shoot it down, and by the time they actually did shoot it down, it was back in Syrian airspace, according to the reports. So this happened at about 2 o'clock Israeli time, about 5.5 hours ago. It's now about 7:30 there now. And they're like 7 hours ahead of us. It's 12:30 here on the East Coast in Philadelphia. And, there's heavy fighting going on in southern Syria right now. The Syrian forces of, what's his name? Assad. Are taking out the last stronghold of ISIS-held territory in southern Syria. And actually, some Syrian forces are butting right up against that demilitarized buffer zone that basically exists. I don't know how big that is between southern Syria and the Golan Heights. And actually is Al Jazeera gives a pretty good description of kind of what's going on there and how that could lead to, hopefully this won't escalate into something bigger, and the fact that the timing of it, right now, Trump, with the warnings going back and forth between Iran, which have been pretty heavy duty, the timing is definitely curious. So, but in any event, and a lot of people believe that, Israel and the United States, Trump are trying to get into a war with Iran. I don't believe that, though. I don't. Syria state media said government forces reached the frontier with Israeli-occupied Golan Heights after capturing territory, the first time they took up positions there since the 2011 uprising. Since the morning hours, there has been an increase in internal fighting in Syria, including an increase in the activity of the Syrian Air Force. The Israeli army said in a statement, Israel is concerned that Syrian military will enter a buffer zone established in 1974 that borders the Golan Heights. Israel's military would continue to operate against any breach of the 1974 UN armistice deal that established the buffer zone on the Golan. The statement said, Nikolai Mladenev, the United Nations Middle East envoy, urged all sides to abide by the 1974 truce, highlighting a disturbing trajectory of increasingly frequent and dangerous confrontations between Israel and Syria. I call on all parties to abide by all provisions of the 1974 agreement and support the role of UNDOF in that regard. So, that's the story there, man. I mean, but they did shoot down a Syrian fighter jet, and we'll see where that goes from here. This is fairly unusual. This hasn't happened in nearly 4 years. 2014, September, was the last time this happened. This is the IDF making the announcement. 2 Patriot missiles were launched at a Syrian Sukhoi fighter jet that infiltrated about 1 mile into Israeli airspace. The IDF monitored the fighter jet, which was then intercepted by the Patriot missiles. This says 4:27 a.m., but I'm not sure about the time. I'm fairly certain it was, like 7 a.m. on the East Coast here, which would have put it about 2 p.m. And this is the announcement. So at 2 p.m. Israeli time when the incident took place. And there you have it. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I will see you in the next video. Later, man.